It has been a very productive last week. Yeah, the amount of progress we've been making when we keep our heads down and stay focused, definitely have a lot of momentum on all of our new services. So that's fantastic. We'll definitely unlock a lot of these new capabilities and also mean that we don't have to build them again. So for most things, we're selectively making sure most things that are needing to be built once on the new services, that all that stuff is teed up, and those projects are getting built right now, which is awesome. So I know we have a lot of competing priorities on the user experience side. We've been prioritizing the pricing service to make sure that we can express all the different ways you'll be able to set different triggers and different personalized pricing by channel in a more programmatic way, and it kind of, but also easy to use, and some super useful tools in there. So that would be something that we'll have more of a demo in the next week or two. We'll have a more fully navigable experience for the pricing service. The other thing, let's see. Yeah, I've been working on more ways for orders per day to be as high as possible, whether that's channel connectivity, obviously expanding product lines that are on and available to different channels. That's something that we're working on, which would be like more product lines available through TCG Player, things like that, as well as more inventory that's available in the network, accessible to other parties that want to refer sales to everybody. I don't know, Matthew, do you guys have anything that is presentable right now?
I do not. I was just going to report that past couple weeks I've been mostly working on member support for design related things, design requests, new site setups, ad network asset creation, such as banners and TCG promos. So I posted on our blog and about 2 new banner sets, Yu-Gi-Oh! Blazing Vortex and Pokemon Shining Fates. And also did a TCG promo for the Pokemon one, and I'm working on the Yu-Gi-Oh! One now. So really been helping members, getting a lot of stuff done that needs to be done. And yeah, that's mostly been it for me lately.
Yeah, I'll copy that. Question on Aether Vault Games. Do you guys have anything that would be an idea or a project that you're curious the status on?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. One thing is shipping, because being in Canada, my shipping options with your company is terrible for how I have to set it up. So I'm paying the same fees and stuff like that, yet I can't utilize all the same functionality with the website, right?
Yeah.
Because like for me to do shipping, I can only have like set shipping. I have to manipulate weights, so that way customers have to choose expedited shipping versus not, like, so if I have like singles for $2 and then, I want to do tracked shipping on something, I have to make it so the singles shipping becomes like $300, and then people are just, it's kind of ridiculous.
Have you ever used the clone tool of the shipping system?
What is that?
So if you go into your admin within shipping,
Okay.
you can go into the USPS area, and you should see a little link that says clone.
Okay, so
It lets you sort of build off of a base USPS integration, or you can make your own custom one. But I do recognize what you're saying in general, because we don't have a very good integration. Like in the US, we have stamps.com/Indicia, which we're integrated with in the admin. But if you're in Canada, we don't have the same for like Canada Post.
no, and the thing is, like, I would love it if someone had bought, like, say, 3 booster boxes for it to charge what the actual shipping is,
Right.
not me trying to guesstimate and losing money on it, because, like, I have to say all my shipping is this price, as opposed to somebody buying Gloomhaven, which is a giant expensive box to ship, versus buying 3 booster packs, right? Like,
Right.
so
I
it just seems that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that one of the things you just alluded to was like the dimensionality, and I know we actually don't have that either on the USPS side of things either. So I know
Well,
that's
even
one of our.
not even dimension, but even just like weights, or even having an option where somehow, like, let's just say somebody's buying 30 cards from me, they get charged this amount, and then they're buying 60 cards, they get charged this amount, and buying like 90 cards, they're buying this, charged this amount, right? Like, so
Right.
I can, because like I say shipping for me is $2, but like it costs me $3 to ship 60 cards, and by the time they buy 70 cards, it costs this much. If I can set even that kind of stuff.
I know that you can do things that are very similar to that within the coupon system, in terms of giving incremental amounts of credit or discounts on shipping for numbers of items in the cart.
Well, I don't even necessarily want to give discounts on shipping. I want to give, I want to charge my customers the actual cost of shipping, right? Like, not.
Yeah.
So
From their rate API.
yeah.
So you're correct, though, that we do not currently have, like right now we are connected to the USPS rate API. And that's the difference that you're alluding to, is that we currently are not connected to the Canada Post rate API.
Which I understand that completely. I understand that's not necessarily easy to do, but then if you could then somehow build in more options, more functionality into the admin, so even I can manipulate it. So even, let's just say, like I said, Magic Singles, if there's 30 cards in the cart, it costs $2. If they're, as soon as they reach 31, the shipping changes to $3 or something like that. And even as simple as, I mentioned the other day to somebody on the chat, like, it costs $2 for shipping. Then I have if you want to combine this with your previous order place, it's free shipping, so people don't have to pay multiple times. But then because it's 0, that comes up on the list of shipping prices before the charged one. Whereas, like, so if people are confused, they see, combined shipping for free, and then they see the cost that way at the bottom. Whereas, like, even just being able to say which order those go in would be useful, like, if that makes sense.
I would like to be taking, does somebody think they have that in its entirety? I'm not 100% tracking what you were just saying.
Okay, so when somebody's checking out on the website, so I have, say, a free shipping option for if somebody's already paid for shipping. If they want to place a second order, they don't have to pay for shipping multiple times, right? It's just like combined shipping.
Add on to an existing. I got you. Yeah.
Exactly. But then on the list of shipping options, that since it costs 0, it always shows up first as they're scrolling, looking down, as opposed to whatever the shipping costs are, and then the combined shipping at the bottom. Because your system defaults to putting free shipping or 0 shipping options to the top. Here, I'll Here, I'll just quickly.
Okay, I've actually just enabled the remote sharing, so anybody can share their screen.
I'm doing this on my phone, not on my.
Okay.
So I'll just turn on my camera. Hello. There. So see here, I have whatever track shipping, letter mail, and then I have combined. And because the combined stuff is 0, it comes on the list before the actual paid shipping options. So like this stuff, I would like to be below it, because that way then people see, oh, here's paid shipping, oh, then combined below.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
Right, but your system will automatically always put 0 shipping costs to the top.
It does want to rank it like by its price, correct?
Right.
So you want those?
People don't bury the in-store pickup stuff. What's that?
I was asking. So you just want those options at the bottom instead?
Yeah, essentially like these two, like flip or something.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
So that's just a thing that you set up manually, right? The combined shipping option.
Exactly.
It would be cool if there was a way that our system could actually know if that person has an existing order and only show that option if they have an existing order that hasn't been shipped. That would be a cool feature in the future. Just
would be
brainstorming.
That would be even better. Right? Because I quite often, a lot of people, because I usually ship every 2 days, I have sometimes people place like 3 or 4 orders within 2 or 3 days before I ship because, oh, I need this card, oh, I need this card, oh, I need this card.
Yeah.
Right. So I created these so that way people aren't constantly paying for shipping all the time.
Definitely. Yeah, it sounds like we could do 2 phases. Phase 1 is allow that to go to the bottom, and phase 2 in the future is like we track and then we actually show them that option only if they have an existing order.
Yeah. Which the second option would be even better, because that would get around. Sometimes people, they forget or they conveniently pick the other thing, and I hate having to hunt down somebody for $2, right? But this is what I'm talking about with like, so in my card, I just threw a booster box in here, and this is what I'm showing you. So like I had to make it so that way the letter mail is like $60, so they'll pick the track shipping, which is kind of a silly way of having to do something like track shipping versus singles, or even if the system had a setup where as soon as they put something with weight in, it removes the letter mail as an option or something. Like I would love it if there's more shipping functionality in the system for people that can't use the USPS system.
Right. Yeah, that weight disqualification is a feature of the USPS rate API, and I do imagine that it is with the Canada Post. So, and I also know that you can print labels through Canada Post API with the research that we did. So we think that there's a way to build a shipping, just like we did with USPS. The goal ultimately is to provide these types of operational services for businesses anywhere. So even if you're in another, it doesn't matter which country you're in, that is obviously going to be a long-term project. But yeah, the goal is that the things that apply to you differently are a significant thing that we need to take in consideration.
Which I understand, and maybe linking here. I don't need to show you this stuff anymore because you've seen it. Maybe the linking.
That was helpful. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem. Maybe linking to the Canada Post API is a long-term thing that's difficult, but in the short term, would it be easy? Well, not easy, but would you be able to make more functionality as kind of like a stopgap in your system, so that way people would have more options?
Yeah, I would say the new shipping and sort of, it's kind of like back office automation of getting everything for customer service and order fulfillment and everything you need for that, it is a consideration. Like we want to be like, this is good feedback,
Mhm.
because we are building the next version of it. So it's something that, based on what would get the results, like we're looking for a lot of security, because we want our members to feel like both sides of the deal know what's going on, and that everybody's reputable, and that we're also trying to keep the transaction costs within the network as low as possible. And so we're thinking about ways we can keep the transaction costs as low as possible, at the same time as security is as high as possible, and then do as many transactions as possible within that framework.
Mhm. One other thought I had is and this is something I haven't looked into a long time. Are you still, for accepting credit card transactions, is it still only the one company that is able to link with the website?
Oh, yeah. So right now, authorized.net is still the payment gateway in the US, and then Bambora, or what used to be, what's the one in Canada?
It was Beanstream, now it's Bambora, but it still might say Beanstream in our admin.
Okay.
Yeah, because sorry, you said mainstream.
But
Because
we do see how many different types of funders will become available in the future. So it will not be limited to just authorized.net plus whatever payment gateway you want.
yeah, because I know there's cheaper options for me than authorized.net. So
Yeah.
You said you mentioned another thing for Canada, which I didn't even know. What was the name of that?
Bambora.
Yeah, it's called Bambora. The former name of it is Beanstream. So if you're on your account payments page, under the create a payment source where you can put in the authorized.net API info, the lowest link is new Beanstream payment source, but it's actually Bambora.
Okay. I'll have to look into that, because maybe they'll have better rates or something like that. Because I know it's not like authorized.net is terrible, but it's definitely, I know when I originally searched, I found cheaper options than authorized.net for sure.
Yeah, they have a lot of additional capabilities. Like they're like sort of like the Cadillac of payment gateways. Everybody knows about them. Everybody supports them, so we went with them.
Yeah,
But
because like
they're not
was
the
this
cheapest.
was this in the last couple of years? Because I think when I set my stuff up, there's only authorized.net, or is it always an availability?
Yeah, it's we let you use whatever merchant services you want. Just in terms of our own gateway support, we've just kept it simple.
Okay.
In the future, we, I believe, support multiple, and including crypto.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then I was watching some of the earlier videos, and I'd like to echo with the whole customization of emails. That is 100% huge. Like my top two priorities for me would be to customize emails and to have more shipping options.
Yeah. Yeah, the customization of the different correspondence, as well as even imagine creating your own recurring, like, product, like, recommendation correspondence with, like, just dynamic variables. And
Yeah.
it could keep in touch with your customers connected with their own account. Like, you could have different trigger points. I mean, these are some of the things that we're working towards, is more of an automated but also personalized. Like, you let the data do the work for you. Like, do we know what their product types are that they like? Yeah, we know exactly what they're clicking on. We know what's in your wish list. We know what the top performing products are that they're associated with. So
honestly,
go ahead.
Honestly, I would just be happy. Sorry, I would just be happy if you took the ready in 24 hours line off of your emails.
Ready in 24 hours. What does that mean?
So when somebody places an order for pickup, it sends them an email saying your order will be ready within 24 hours for pickup.
Okay.
At the top, even if you just took that off the email, I would be happy because I don't get it ready necessarily in 24 hours, usually 1 to 2 days. So, right. And so like I have people like, hey, is my order ready? The email says it will be within this time. It's like, well, no, it's not, because so I have to have specific things on checkout saying that it's not going to be ready to that and to ignore that email.
Okay. Yeah. Copy that. That is an easy thing to change. And yeah, I think we can make that change globally and have that not affect anybody.
Right. Because I'm sure most people, even if you just change it to you'll be contacted when your order is ready for pickup or something like that, or
your order will be available as soon as possible.
exactly, just something more generic, not just saying like it's ready within 24 hours. Because
I hear you. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Right.
No, thank you for bringing that up. I think that we just probably wrote that copy thinking that that would apply to most all situations. But you're right, that does not always apply to everybody.
No, and what does 24 hours mean, right? Because if you have a guy who works Monday to Friday getting magic orders ready, and somebody places something Friday night, are you talking about business hours? So like, will it be ready Saturday, but they might
Yeah.
have a guy who orders Saturday, or so
we're gonna put something that's like your order will be ready when it's ready. You will
maybe
be
a little bit more professional than that.
Well, the thing is, they'll be notified when the order is ready, right?
Yeah. So like that would. Oh, and here's another silly thing.
Do you guys use the integrated correspondence within the orders that we created?
I stopped using that because they always go to junk mail. I was going to mention that to you. I find my customers weren't getting emails anymore because they're 99% of the time going to their junk mail folder.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes. So I now instead I just go to my because I use Gmail. I just go to my Gmail account and I just copy and paste their email addresses into there and send it that way, and it doesn't go to their junk folder. But the automated ones where I go to the admin, they send an email, that goes to their junk folder.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So I would love to use it again. I've noticed in the past about 2 months, that's when it's really started happening for the most part.
I have a quick question. When those emails are sending, what email account are they sending from?
My aethervaultgames@gmail.com.
So that's what the CrystalCommerce site is sending. It's using your Gmail account to send them, or is that how you're sending them?
Yeah, they're sent from whatever email address you have entered in your account, and your account prefs as your contact email.
Okay. And I don't understand why if you're sending the email directly from your Gmail account as opposed to the software sending it from the Gmail account, I don't understand why one works and one doesn't.
Because the one that's coming from the CrystalCommerce, it looks like a spam email. Gmail has algorithms that scan stuff and say, oh, this is like a generic email that's getting sent out, and it gets into their spam folder. As opposed to the stuff I'm writing, since I have to physically write things out, and it doesn't look as much like a form letter, it doesn't get sent to their spam. I've also occasionally had the emails from I found from, like, I get an email when somebody places an order, one from the credit card, one from the system, saying somebody's placed an order, this is what they ordered. Occasionally those emails have been getting into my Gmail spam folder as well. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for reporting that. I know that Mailgun, which is the system that we use to send emails, should have a very high deliverability rate. I mean, Gmail will always preferentially choose, Gmail to Gmail deliverability over anything else. So that's probably what it was. Yes. Let's see. And thank you for posting the Canada Post API into the chat. That's something we can take a look at. I know that there's a ticket somewhere for it, for sure.
Well, I've mentioned this a few times, so I'm sure there's tickets because of that. So I've been mentioning this for like 4 years. So
yeah, friends. Like
Leslie Winfield created 2 Canada Post integration ideas in AHA actually, and I just merged one into the other and put some details in.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. All right. Yeah.
Another thing I thought we had a ticket for, I'm going to see if I can find it, or if not, maybe just make a new one, regarding more shipping rules. And maybe this is something that would be more simple than building the Canada Post API integration, would be like adding more rules on the shipping methods, like similar to how we have in the coupon system, with being able to restrict categories or exclude categories. Maybe if we had a way to exclude certain categories from certain shipping methods, because one of the examples they gave was having to price the single shipping method, give it like a really ridiculously high per pound price, and then have all the singles at 0 weight. And then when the customer orders like a booster box, that shipping option is like ridiculously high. If we had a way of just saying this shipping method is not allowed to be used for sealed product, or exclude these categories from seeing the shipping method. I don't know.
Yeah, this has been a constant problem with customers, both domestically and internationally, picking envelope and flat rate envelope shipping options for booster boxes. I have to communicate with probably 5-6 of those a week.
Is that because there's not a weight maximum like there is on letter?
For a priority flat rate, I think the weight maximum is like 70 or 80 pounds, which is, there's no way you're ever going to fit that in there.
It's like, imagine fitting like 5 cases in a flat rate mailer.
And even that's even for like flat rate envelope, I think the weight limit is like several pounds at least. So technically someone could order a booster box or something that's like 3 pounds and choose flat rate envelope if you have it available. So
do you think that like full support for dimension is more important, or is there can you think of a better way to do it?
I think being able to exclude categories would be simpler and probably achieve a lot of the same
categories
thing.
Per item, I can go into every booster box and unclick envelope forever.
That's where it makes it more sense on like product type. So like you could go into, I mean, that means you'd have to do it for every different collectible card game, but.
Well, I mean, compared to the fact we already have to set individual weights to get around a lot of the shipping snafus in Cryco, it's not really an extra burden. We already have to customize and tweak constantly to get it to work. So
if you guys, I'd be okay, honestly, and I think I'd speak for these other people as well. If you guys made some really weird, complicated system in there that would take me half a day to get it set up, but in the end would be more profitable and be more user-friendly for my customers, I'd be okay with spending half a day doing that. Right? It's just a matter of like you said, not having to constantly email people and this, that, and the other thing, or even looking confusing on the site, because the amount of times I'm on Facebook groups and people make fun of CrystalCommerce stores in Canada, like, oh look, their shipping's $1,000 for me to buy this. It's like, well, that's because of the weird, silly system that has to happen right now for it.
Yeah, copy that. Well, anything to get them to sharing those links. I mean, let's find other ways, I guess. Okay. I think that's definitely important. Yeah, we had also hi there. Let's see. And how many of you on the call right now have seen the historic website editor that Matt created?
I have not.
Do we know which episode that was? But it's just recently we've begun kind of posting these. These are kind of weekly product roadmap sessions where we're reviewing not just our backlog of ideas, but also different features that maybe aren't working perfectly in the current system that we're using. And as we're creating the new platform, we want to basically reconsider how do we build it in a way that makes these issues that have been happening to us just not happen anymore. Design it out so that it's better all around. So these sessions happen every week at 2 p.m. You can jump on the live Zoom that's linked in the chat. In your admin. That should be permalinked, I think. Actually, is that something? Can someone tell me where I can get to that link right now?
Sorry, which thing were you looking for?
I am wondering, so as a member, where can I get to that Zoom link that 2 p.m.
Oh, the link that goes to it?
Yeah.
I thought support sent out some communications, but I'm not 100% on that.
It is in the chat right now. Thank you for that. But I'm just wondering, just throwing it out there for
sure, we should have that somewhere more.
Yep.
Maybe one thing we could add to our help center. I mean, that's just one option. We could do other stuff too.
Yeah, roger that.
I have a link to the
persistent
thing you were asking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's the exact spot where the website builder tool is in the YouTube video. It was like the second meeting, or I don't know. But anyway, yeah, those are on YouTube.
Yeah.
The Wednesday meetings historically were Edmund's posting them on YouTube for us, so that's good.
Yep. Do you want to do a little overview? Because I think it would be new for pretty much everybody that's not just on the call regularly.
I mean, the site builder, is that what you're talking about? Because like I played all the demo videos in great detail, so I think maybe we just point people to that. I did put the link in the chat here, but yeah, we can also repost on social about that to get more eyes on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just one demo to rule them all. We can show the interactive stuff again. But yeah, we are working to connect it up a little more completely. We've been trying to knock out a few internal and member projects in the last week or two. So, but it really is important that that progress continues on the new front end user experience, so that we can continue to show new things every week, as well as keep our engineering teams fed with the new work and getting that feedback loop continuing. So, okay. Trying to go down in the chat. Yeah, I would say it's definitely worth checking out. Very pleased with how each member would be able to, without having knowledge of coding or anything really complicated, you'd be able to create your own landing pages with product inserts, with content, with different call outs and advertisement placements, really creating an entire landing page on your own for a promotion or something that you think your customers would benefit from seeing all together. Something that you would consider having to contact the design department, you'd be able to do these things on your own now. And that also included, we'll be able to build out an extensive library of tools and kind of plugins and add-ons that make it really kind of fun to just build new experiences and publish them, because they're really a powerful shopping experience or just a cool way to display your content and merchandise things all around it. I think it's one of the better, if not the best editor I've seen on the internet in terms of the actual product and e-commerce interoperability with sort of just content management. So definitely worth a deep dive on that. And we'd be happy to get feedback. You know, if you can think of things, that's what's nice is the extensibility of these as modular components really makes it, I think, super powerful, because you can now not have to worry about any kind of cost in terms of like making iterative changes to your website just on a whim. I hope that in the future we can actually do some kind of in-house multivariate testing where we could create different scenarios. This is just something that is coming, but not, I don't know how long it'll take to get there. But imagine multivariate scenarios where we're trying to figure out which is the highest converting layout, or like what is what performs to, you know, whatever your goals are. You know, and that, I think that'll be a fun fun, it's a game that kind of never ends, I guess. And then also the data visualization is another big thing that we can give an update on, which is that we've finished 42 different data points that we're going to give basically trended year over year data back to you about your business and about your product lines and inventory, things like that. And so that is all going to be within a kind of an open source data graphing library. So it's all, you know, no cost, you know, kind of just free to anybody who's a member. You'll get access to all the data about, like I call it like an MRI for your business. Like if you get a deep dive on what's doing well, what's not doing well, but also within your industry, not just within your business. That's where this will definitely get us, is some insights. And then I keep getting us to the point of actionable insights. Like, don't just show me a graph, but show me something that I can take action on in terms of, you know, I need to either change a price or add a new product line. And I know that we had just made another big progress report this morning, which was that we tuned one of our parts of our infrastructure without getting too into it. and had a 50% improvement in its efficiency. So that was fantastic. And they thought maybe they could even get more, but I think they're pretty darn happy with that. And that would definitely be a good indicator of more efficiency improvements to come. So we definitely like that, especially as we're adding on new services and also keeping the day-to-day operations of product sync and keeping on top of recently there's been a lot of oversells. So that's excuse me, that's definitely something that has been a primary that our engineering team have been working on, what the root cause of some of these issues were. And I know that a great many of them, the root issues were resolved. So does anybody on the support team know if there's anything that's outstanding right now in terms of operational issues?
I mean, with regard to like, yeah, the oversells, as far as I know, we fixed the issues causing both oversells for both Amazon and eBay.
Okay, that's what I had heard as well. So thank you for confirming that. And that means that if anybody does see anything that we are interested in knowing about it, so that we can investigate that. So, okay, thank you. Let's see. I would like, I think what I'll do is get more of an agenda that I can get delegated to someone who can kind of run through the ideas portal. Because we're going to be definitely promoting a lot of new items onto the roadmap, as well as discussing ones that are already on the roadmap and potentially even in or out of development. They could be in the development or the design process currently. And that's why this is just sort of that weekly, it's a retrospective on our product and engineering roadmap. We want to make sure that we're looking back to prior conversations that we've had with our members about what the most important things are to not forget about. And so that's also nice to invite people on and have a good discussion about what specific things would make a difference operationally in their businesses. Because a lot of it, I think, can be quite simple. As these new services are designed, they can incorporate some of these things fundamentally. And I was wondering, does One Angry Lunatic have anything else that they were interested in talking about?
No, I actually just want to listen for the next couple of meetings like this. And then after I get familiar with what's going on, then maybe start interjecting. I don't want to throw something out there that's already been discussed. So I kind of want to get caught up.
Absolutely. I think that's fantastic. So yeah, at the high level, we were think of us as a business management system where we're holistically managing your business across many different channels, different prices, different collections of products, and different customer bases that you might be dealing with simultaneously, in person, online, maybe through multiple channels at the same time. And that's what our technology creates. And also our services sort of empower you to build a brand. And we want to make sure that the tools that we're operating right now are working correctly, which we're always triaging and seeing if there's anything that can be improved. And we're also creating the future, which is the next levels of our technology. In this round of upgrades has a lot of huge improvements to our architecture from a data standpoint as well as from an application standpoint. So it's definitely a fun one because of what it enables, which is a huge new access to data and insights in a way that we had not had before, because of how each of our members had their own MySQL databases, and everybody had data that was all, everybody had to use the import to, they have to import new products from our master catalog into their database. In the new architecture, you're really just associating yourself with things that you want to get automatically updated with, and it doesn't require an import at all. And you're just able to find new things as easily as searching or browsing.
Well,
oh, go ahead.
I actually do have one question. This is based off of what you were saying about the separate SQL databases. We're kind of out in the country, and internet is not always stable. So my question is in the new design, are y'all considering the possibility of putting SQL Express on a local machine at the store and backing up their customer database and their inventory stuff to that? So if the internet is down, the store isn't necessarily shut down and out of business.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I personally have been sort of an advocate and champion for a member never losing access to our applications. Like, I want you to, if it was local to one device, you'd basically run and grab that device and bring it with you. If it was, you're able to run all of the CrystalCommerce technology from the data on your device. So offline mode or off-grid mode, whatever you might call it, is definitely part of the long-term plan. Right now, as you know, or maybe you don't know, we left IBM and jumped into AWS as sort of like think of it like a lily pad. This is not our final form. We're not going to be 100% cloud, but think of us as like being connected to the cloud, but also having an offline mode. So if there was an interruption of service, there might be other ways to connect within the CrystalCommerce network, and keep control of your data. I often think of it like if you're at a convention and everybody was already a member of CrystalCommerce, like it wouldn't matter that the ISP locally, like that the cell phone reception and all the data, like in that local convention center was terrible. Like if everybody was using us, then they would all potentially have incredible, connectivity that was like more of a mesh. So I keep talking to different very smart people about that long-term plan. And I hope that, right now, today, I have to make sure that day-to-day operations are fast, is super fast. And that's what I've done. We are definitely paying through the teeth to make that happen right now. But
well, I work for a company that does communication software for hospitals, and they'll typically, if you get a hospital system with 19 or 20 hospitals, they'll set up a centralized set of servers, but each hospital has its own operators for answering calls. And so, we call it business sustainability, but the idea is that we have the SQL Express local on the PCs, and once a night We just do a backup of their upcoming schedules for the next day, who's on call, whatnot, whatever is important to them at that particular facility. And then if for some reason the internet gets knocked out, between one hospital and a central data center, they can still answer calls and route stuff and transfer stuff, even though the internet's down. And right now, the way the way your system is designed, when we're doing everything on the POS, it's tied back to your servers. And if my internet's down during store hours, I can't process an order. I can't do anything because I can't see anything. And I can still work on a cash basis with clients. But you start to have to write down records. And if it's a long outage, someone hits a telephone pole between me and the small town I'm near, and I'm down for like 6 hours,
Totally.
And it happens, at least once a quarter. So it is a concern. It's not bothered me yet since I've switched with you guys, but I do foresee it coming somewhere in the future.
Absolutely. And I definitely am one to continue to bring this up internally as well. It's a real case. And also, you also have one other challenge that I'll bring up just for the record, which is noisy neighbor. Like right now, the point of sale application is in contention for the same pool of resources as some of the online batching and job running queues, meaning that your point of sale transactions someone could batch update 10,000 record prices and your point of sale transaction could be slower because of that. So in the future, that will be less that way because we're doing much more what's called service-oriented architecture. So we actually have dedicated services that have dedicated resources.
Cool.
But yeah, the continuity of business is, I think, essential. That's why I want you to have your local records. Like I want you to be able to be like, no, like it doesn't matter where I am. I could be like 1,000 feet beneath the earth, and it's like, yeah, here's everything I have in my inventory. Here's my business. Now, how do we connect you out to, somebody else? I don't know. That's what I think. What's cool is to think about how could we do that. What networks could we run on? I want to be as resilient as a network and as a service as possible. And you need your community and your local business live inventory network more than ever if there's a disaster. So we would never want you to lose access to your live inventory records of every single thing you've cataloged that you have. Especially your ability to transact that with your local community, even if main like internet was down. How else might we be able to continue to communicate? I don't know. It's a great question.
Is your and I haven't tested this. I know for the website template that my website works, on full size screen, or if I shrink it down to tablet or
Yeah.
down to mobile, it
You
scrolls
built it,
down.
yeah.
Does your admin do that as well?
It does down to tablet mode because it has such advanced operations.
Mm-hmm.
It really, we didn't want to have to break those into mobile, but we did break them down so that it's optimized for a tablet.
Okay.
And
So if I've got a cellular integrated tablet, if my internet goes down, I technically can still work.
Absolutely, 100%. And the tablet mode is great, in my opinion. I think it looks really good and works well. And then yeah, for the mobile, for the shopping, yeah, we actually do mobile first, which is great. Most
Yep.
people are on their mobile anyway these days. So, but that's what we've been working on, is kind of revamping the experience, both on the back end architecture side and the user experience side, based on just an absolutely massive amount of very passionate feedback. And if we don't get one part of it right, we'll just, know it's part of our process to correct that in the next release and update. So that's why we're trying to also circulate our progress visually, and so you can see what's going on. And so definitely refer back to previous posts if you haven't seen our visual progress report on what's been created. I will have some more next week from our engineering team on some of the services that have been created and some walkthroughs of some of the new experiences for a number of different things. We have been very, very active behind the scenes. So without, I won't drag this on much longer. So yeah, thank you all very much for joining for today. Do jump onto the CrystalCommerce or crystalmembers.ideas.aha.io. If you do not have an account, please just create one that's not using our single sign-in. And we're going to be using that for adding new things onto the roadmap. Oh, thank you for posting that into the chat. Ham radio packet mesh network. Yeah, I mean, that is definitely something that I think it's fascinating. I would definitely like to try somehow to allow our technology to run on a device powered by its own local data source that would continue even if it lost connection to the cloud, and then it would basically batch some diff that needs to be synced as cloud connectivity was resumed. I think is what most people would be like, yeah, that's probably what most people want. And that, yeah, maybe it also could let you like sync with other people nearby if it was offline, like everybody that you're within transmitting distance of. And we went over, we're working to improve the number of referred sales per day. That was one of our initiatives, number of orders per day, increasing that. So I know that that was something that we were showing. Yeah, board games. Yeah, this was some of the, if you go into your account and click on admin, so if you're an affiliate, you're going to be able to click on and earn 5% on a referred sale. But if you wanted to be a store, you have to opt in to show for anybody that would be an affiliate. This account just uses the doesn't cost any affiliate referral fee to be listed on this one, so that's why it shows everybody. But a lot of people are signing up for that under account, and then preferences, and then store. You see product finder, and we had a good demo of that last week. There's a bunch of affiliates that are influencers. They have a lot of eyeballs. They make content about different things. Could be board games, right? Like, so if you have this, right, if I'm from Seattle area, it's showing obviously what's nearby first, and then it just goes deeper into the network if it's something that's kind of rare.
One thing about that, I just want to mention that we talked about it in the previous meeting that we had, was that if you know, remember, if you opt into any of that product finder stuff in the admin, it may potentially require updates to your website code that we would do, you know, we'd do that for free. So, but we're tracking those. When people opt in, we're tracking it, and then designers are taking a look at that list and updating the sites as we get them. So if your stuff doesn't, if you opt in and things don't look right, then maybe just chat support and we'll check into it and make sure that your site is updated.
Is there a way of knowing which stores in my area have already opted into this to see, right?
Yeah. I mean, if whoever you see listed, well, on Exchange right now, you just see everybody. But
No, like, so right now, how would I look to see who in my area is already doing this?
I don't think you can right now. But Dan, is the one on Exchange, is it showing only people opted in, or did you just said that that's showing like everything on there? Shouldn't it just be showing people that are, well, no, that's not true.
everybody.
Actually, that's not true. Yeah, I don't think any of our things just show who's opted in yet. I think we're kind of like still testing and developing things right now.
That must be the case.
This would be on a product by product basis, right? So let's say I carry these dice, but the store down the street doesn't. It's only going to show mine if they're looking at the dice, but if he sells something I don't, and they're looking at that product, it's going to show him, but not me, correct?
Yeah, there's two different settings. The one you're talking about is the setting that lets you do just that, which is when you have it, it will only show your inventory. And if it's a product that you don't have, that's where it will show your buddies.
Always in stock, quotation marks.
Ones that you can force it on all products. So
but then
someone who never has anything in stock, they're just more of a marketer or an affiliate or just a super fan. They just use it, they force it on all products. And someone who might be a dealer or a retailer that wants to be what's called always in stock, you could option for only showing the product finder results for things that you're out of stock on.
So I'm curious, so does it just link to their website, or would they place the order through my website?
Currently, this version, they would link to their website to check out. The next version allows you to have both transactions happen on your website.
But then would they, let's just say Magic Singles, if they get 5 cards from me and 5 cards from another person, would they pay for shipping twice, or how would that work?
Yes, they would.
Okay. And that would show it to them.
Unless there was some kind of shipping coupon or something like that.
Okay. But there's no way of me, like, I'm just curious to see if there's any stores in my city that are doing this right now. Is there any way for me to look at that?
There will be.
But not currently.
Right now, you're seeing everybody that's in this system currently. A lot of them are, I don't know if they've signed up or clicked the checkbox yet.
Okay, so this feature's not live yet, or is it live?
Well, it's live right now.
But it's still kind of in testing, and there's not that many people opted in. There's like really only a few stores, just to answer your. But there will be probably an easier way. Like once it's kind of more like 100%, then I think what you would do is just go to, like a website and click it, and then you'd see stores local to you, and then you'd kind of know, oh, they're opted in. But there won't be like a list or a leaderboard that you can just look at though.
Yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm just curious, just because I think there's maybe like 5 or 6 CrystalCommerce stores in my area, so I'm just wondering if any of them are doing this or not. That's all.
Yeah, chances are probably not. There's not a lot opted in yet.
Know about it yet.
But soon, very soon.
Yeah, because I don't like the option. I like the option of it showing if they have it, only if I don't have it. Now, would that also show? So let's just say like I only put board games in my inventory that I actually have. Would that show like let's just say they're searching for a game that I don't normally carry? Would it then come up as an option of other people having it, or would it just not show at all?
If you don't have it set up to show on your site, then it won't show for them. But if you choose to, if you want to do that to expand your inventory to things that you don't carry, you could add those in and just have a quantity of 0.
Yeah. Okay. But then theoretically, then if I do that and then they do buy it from that other store, then I would get 5% or something. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that should be how it works.
How does the system know that they're buying it because they saw it through my site?
There's a tracking. I don't know the details, but our engineers have more info. Like if Jesse or someone was here could explain. I don't know if he is here, but anyway, yeah, there's just a tracking code and stuff. It's pretty complicated.
But that would
Uses
only work
cookies
then
and
if they're
sessions.
that would only then work if
Jess-
they're buying it online then, because if they theoretically see it, oh look, this so and so store has it in stock, and I'm going to drive over there and buy it in person.
Right. That doesn't. Yeah, that won't work. Jesse, were you here? You were just trying to say something.
Yeah, it uses cookies and sessions. So it basically it's tracking the browser, and like there's certainly ways of getting around that. Like there is tracking anything on the internet. Someone could see, oh, it's in stock on this other store, and then just log out of that browser, go into a different browser, go to the store, buy it. They could get the 5% referral that way. So certainly it's not a foolproof system, but for the most part, if nobody is trying to do anything specifically nefarious, it functions well. It's a normal way of tracking attributions on the web.
Oh no, for sure. Is there a way of if they do buy it, how would I know that they bought it and I get the 5%? Like, just because I'm wondering, like, if it's something, let's just say like a board game that I don't normally carry, if people are buying it because they see the other stock and maybe want to start carrying that game.
Yeah, so we have reporting in your admin.
Okay. And how does the payment work?
The payment will get credited on your weekly billing statement.
Hey, are you guys going to expand? Because currently the billing, it doesn't really show credits and stuff like that on there. Is that going to change so it actually starts showing credits?
I'm not sure that there's any plans in the works presently. It doesn't currently.
Yeah, because I would like, because as for a financial standpoint, I do get credits from you guys occasionally, and it'd be nice if I could see that on the account, but I can't actually see that on account anywhere. I just have to assume it happens somewhere in the background.
Yeah, Jesse, I do think that is part of the that expanded details of on the billing invoice. We have an iteration on that page to let you drill into the billing invoice and let you get more specifics about what it pertains to. And then, I was hoping, I actually think that this was connected to that. Yep. So the idea being, anybody that was looking for what's nearby. And if they place multiple orders before that cookie in that session expires, the affiliate would earn the commission on all of those. Hopefully referring a long-term customer after the cookie does expire. But yeah, there's like also the ability to kind of jump into like product lines that maybe you don't have a full inventory of. No, we don't have anybody that has them. What should we look for in here? Well, anyway, so yeah, the fewer landing pages that we can let the system have that are out of stock, that's going to drive our orders per day metric, and the more new members that get invited to have an exchange with their own brand connected to whatever content they're producing will allow them to refer a lot of sales directly to stores, and that will help increase orders per day. And yeah, so we're hopeful that this will be successful and helping a lot of people earn a little bit of income, you know, during this time when a lot of people are having a hard time even getting employment. This could help a lot of people earn a little bit of income and help local stores get a lot of referred sales. So I'm really hopeful that this has a big impact. It helps a lot of people. Yeah, it's like, I think going to be, whoa, what? Red cheek misprint. Oh man, crazy. Let's see. Any other questions or comments before we wrap up for the day?
One quick question, just not to go into a lot of detail because I covered it in the previous video. But in the previous video, you said you're doing like a point system or something like that. How far along is that?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if Forrest is still on the call. But yeah, so imagine you can assign different activities to earn points. In fact, Paul, do you happen to remember what the point, like how they earn points? Basically, you can set redemption on certain products, and it would show up kind of like what I'm showing you right now. But imagine like each of these were different points.
Yep.
And I could earn points by doing things like, you know, my shopping over a history of, you know, over time, and or other things like maybe, you know, doing things like referring people and whatever else.
How about things like liking us on Facebook and Twitter and things like that?
I think that kind of stuff would be awesome. Paul, do you happen to know if the ticket does include other ways to earn points?
As far as I know, it was just from purchases.
Okay. Because I love the wizard side, which is like, if you give them like a step-by-step where it was like what would be awesome in order to give, like you want basically to incentivize and automate the connection between the consumer member and what would help the business member effectively get better SEO. And so leaving reviews, like he just said about social, liking, sharing, linking, those backlinks are definitely always very helpful. I would love to add that onto that ticket. That would be great. Because he's right. The more we could be prescriptive about those specific activities, yeah, we would definitely let people set potentially a custom points level for each.
So, but just curious as how far away this is to be implemented. That's like,
Oh, well, I mean, the future has a funny way of coming pretty quickly sometimes. But I mean, we are talking about the future right now, and this level of our services hasn't been built yet.
Okay.
The current work we're doing in the services is going very well, and that's why we're always updating our tickets with the best possible situation, so that when when that part of the system is ready for work, which, I mean, like I said, we have people chewing through work right now. Um, so I don't want to say it's going to be a long time, but I don't want to tell you, hey, that's going to happen next week. But we have a lot of stuff coming in the first half of this year. So my goal is to keep the work flowing, and that might mean sequestering a couple of our extremely talented designers, like in a mountain bungalow, until everything is completed. Yeah, unlikely. Yeah. So anyway, let's wrap up there. Thank you, everyone, for. We'll have some great things to show next week. I'll have some more demos of some things that are further along in the design process, that many are actually nearly complete in the engineering process. So I'll be able to show things that are in our testing environments, and answer any questions about that workflow. One of the things we're trying to do is make it more frictionless to interact with multiple different parts of the system from your data, and then be able to show you better, insights about your data. Actually, Franklin, are you on the call? Yeah, you are. Do you want to really quickly
Yes.
go through those 42 different KPI metrics that we have prepped for engineering? That would be a good thing to finish with, because I know a lot of people have waited a long time to really dive deeper into the data within the network.
Well,
And you just need to read the name of them. You don't need
yeah,
to be reading any kind of SQL or anything like that.
yeah. Do you want me to show something? Because I'll need to go there. Hold on. Or do you just want me to read them?
If you have something that you could show, you're welcome to show it. Yeah. Until then, I'm just going to keep clicking around. Are you close with that?
I know I can read them off. I'm just trying to get to the not the master feature, but the is it the initiative? Does everybody see
I'm
Chrome?
curious. Can you go to Yu-Gi-Oh sealed products? And
Dan?
I'm looking for a booster box called Pharaoh's Servant Unlimited Edition. So there's no search engine?
There is, yeah. I wasn't sure if this is. What did you say it was?
Pharaoh's Servant.
That's what I was wondering, is whether it hadn't been indexed into the search engine on this, which I didn't. So it did find it. So perhaps that means that there isn't a variant in the database for it, or not a variant,
That's okay. I'm one of the few dealers that are actually signed up. I've got turned on a couple of weeks ago and was just curious if I'd show up. None of the products you were picking were things I have in stock.
Oh, I see.
So, and,
well,
and
it should work.
I'm sorry. I tried to turn my mute off. There's an A before that O in Pharaohs. Pharaoh apostrophe S.
Gotta test the fuzzy search, right? Just spell everything.
Is your search going to be faster in the newer system?
I would say it would be. It's all going to be in RAM, Elasticsearch. So, so is that, this is what we're looking at right here, the booster pack, and then this is the booster box.
Mine is listed like the one here with the 24 packs after it.
Are you gaming Unplugged?
Yep, that's me.
There you are.
Okay, so I am working in the system. We hadn't tested it, so I was just curious to see if we were set up properly. Thank you.
100%. And look at that, we were raining clicks right onto your direct sales website. And so with that, that's a good thing to end on. We just want to put that into the hands of lots of folks who want to help people locate what they're looking for, but this time they don't have to go to Amazon.
Perfect.
All right, well, have a great day, everybody. And we'll see you next week for some new stuff that I'm excited to share.